You think you're being kind. You think you're being fair. You think respect comes from being good to people. That belief is the exact reason you're controlled. And once you see what I'm about to show you, you can't go back to who you were. So, if you're ready to stay blind, leave now. But if you want to understand why predictable people are disposable people, keep watching. Most people spend their entire lives wondering why they're disrespected, why their boundaries get crossed, why their kindness gets punished, and they blame themselves. They think they're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. But that's not the problem. The problem is they've been playing by rules that were designed to keep them weak. Machiavelli understood this 5 centuries ago. Modern psychology confirms it today. And you're about to learn the principles that separate the manipulated from the untouchable. Here's what we're covering. 5 laws that will rewire how you see power, respect, and control. And I promise you, by the end of this, you'll never look at human behavior the same way again. This isn't theory. This is survival. Law number 1. Predictability is your enemy. People don't respect what they can predict. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that the moment you become readable, you become manageable. And management is just a polite word for control. Think about it. When someone knows exactly how you'll react, what you'll tolerate, what you'll forgive, they own you. They don't fear crossing your line because they know where it is. And worse, they know you won't do anything about it. This shows up everywhere. At work, the person who always says yes gets more work, not more respect. In relationships, the person who always forgives gets more betrayal, not more love. In friendships, the person who's always available gets taken for granted, not appreciated. It's not personal, it's pattern recognition. Humans are wired to test boundaries. And if your boundaries are predictable, they're not boundaries. They're suggestions. So here's the rule. Vary your responses. Sometimes forgive. Sometimes cut off. Sometimes help. Sometimes let them struggle. The moment people can't predict you, they start respecting you. Not because you're cruel, but because you're no longer controllable. And controllable people don't get respect. They get used. Here's the trap nobody sees. You think being consistent makes you trustworthy. It doesn't. It makes you exploitable. Law number 2. Your goodness is only valuable when it's selective. This is where most people destroy themselves. They think kindness is a virtue, and it is, but only when it's strategic. Machiavelli said it clearly. It's better to be feared than loved if you can't be both. Now, that doesn't mean be cruel. It means your goodness must come with boundaries. Because goodness without strength is just weakness wearing a costume. Let me show you what this looks like. You help someone once, they appreciate it. You help them twice, they expect it. You help them a 3rd time, they resent you when you stop. See what happened? Your generosity created entitlement, not gratitude. And now you're trapped. You either keep giving or you become the bad guy. That's not kindness. That's self-destruction. Psychology backs this up. It's called the law of reciprocity. Imbalance. When you give without requiring anything in return, people unconsciously devalue what you offer. They assume it's worthless because it costs them nothing. And over time, they stop seeing you as generous. They see you as desperate, as someone who needs to be needed. And desperate people don't get respect. They get pity. So here's what you do. Make your kindness rare. Make it earned. Make it conditional. Not because you're selfish, but because value requires scarcity. When people know you'll only help those who deserve it, they either step up or step away. And both outcomes protect you. Listen carefully. This decides your future. Respect doesn't come from what you give. It comes from what you withhold. Law number 3. People judge you by position, intention. This is brutal, but it's true. No one cares why you did something. They only care where you ended up. Machiavelli understood that outcomes define perception. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if you're broke, people see you as irresponsible. If you're overworked, they see you as weak. If you're always helping others, They see you as someone with no life of their own. Here's a real-life example. Two people work at the same company. Person A works late every night, helps everyone, never says no. Person B leaves on time, sets boundaries, only helps when it benefits them. Who gets promoted? Person B, every time. Why? Because person A's behavior signals low value. It says, I need this job more than it needs me. Person B's behavior signals high value. It says, I have options. Respect my time or lose me. This is why good people feel invisible. They think effort equals respect. It doesn't. Position equals respect. And position comes from how you're perceived, not how hard you work. People don't remember your struggles. They don't remember your sacrifices. They remember your status. And if your status says, doormat, that's how you'll be treated. So here's the strategic rule. Stop explaining yourself. Stop justifying your decisions. Stop trying to make people understand your intentions. Just move in silence and let your position speak. When you're in a place of power, people assume you earned it. When you're in a place of weakness, they assume you deserve it. Fair? No. True? Absolutely. Most people fail right here. They keep trying to be understood instead of becoming undeniable. Law number 4. Silence is a weapon. You talk too much. Everyone does. And every time you over-explain, you lose power. Machiavelli never said this directly, but he lived it. The less he revealed, the more dangerous he became. Because silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty creates fear, and fear creates respect. Here's how this plays out. Someone disrespects you. Your instinct is to defend yourself, to explain why they're wrong, to prove your value. But the moment you do that, you've already lost. Why? Because you're seeking their approval, and people who seek approval don't get it. They get ignored. Now, watch what happens when you stay silent. When someone crosses you and you don't react, you don't argue, you don't explain, you just stop engaging. Suddenly, they're confused. They're uncomfortable. They start wondering what you're thinking, what you're planning. And that discomfort, that's power shifting. Because now they're reacting to you, not the other way around. Psychology calls this the uncertainty principle. The human brain hates ambiguity. When people can't read you, they fill in the blanks. And they almost always assume the worst, that you're smarter than them, stronger than them, more dangerous than them. And even if none of that's true, their belief makes it real. So here's what you do. When someone tests you, go quiet. When someone disrespects you, pull back. Don't announce it. Don't threaten it. Just do it. Let them feel the absence. Let them wonder. And watch how fast their behavior changes. And here's why that matters. People respect mystery. They disrespect transparency. Law number 5. You are responsible for how people treat you. This is the one that makes people uncomfortable, because it removes the victim card. But it's the truth. Every time someone crosses your boundary and you do nothing, you've given them permission. Every time someone disrespects you and you tolerate it, you've taught them it's acceptable. You think you're being patient. You're not. You're being complicit. Machiavelli said the lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. You need to be both. The fox sees manipulation coming. The lion stops it. But most people are neither. They're sheep. They see the trap and walk into it anyway. They feel the disrespect and excuse it. And then they wonder why it keeps happening. Let me show you something. You have a friend who only calls when they need something. You know it, but you answer anyway because you don't want to seem cold. That's not kindness. That's self-betrayal. You have a coworker who takes credit for your work. You know it, but you stay quiet because you don't want conflict. That's not professionalism. That's cowardice. You have a partner who dismisses your feelings. You know it, but you stay because you're afraid of being alone. That's not love. That's fear. And here's the thing. Every time you allow that behavior, you're not just letting them disrespect you. You're teaching yourself that you don't matter, that your boundaries are negotiable, that your worth is optional. And once you believe that, everyone else will too. So here's the final rule. Set the standard, not with words, with action. When someone crosses the line, remove access. No warning, no second chance, no explanation, just consequence. Because people don't change when you talk to them. They change when their behavior stops working. Think about it. You can't demand respect. You can only require it. And the moment you stop accepting disrespect, it stops being offered. Now, let me show you something. These 5 laws aren't separate. They're a system. When you stop being predictable, people can't control you. When your goodness becomes selective, people start earning it. When you focus on position over intention, you stop wasting energy on explanations. When you use silence as a weapon, you take back your power. And when you hold people accountable for how they treat you, you design the life you deserve. This is where most people lose themselves. They learn the truth and then do nothing with it. They nod along, they agree, and then they go right back to being the same predictable, over-giving, over-explaining, boundaryless version of themselves. And nothing changes, because knowing isn't enough. You have to become it. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince to teach morality. He wrote it to teach survival. And survival isn't about being the nicest person in the room. It's about being the one people think twice before crossing. It's about being respected, not liked. It's about being powerful, not popular. And that's the choice you have right now. You can close this video and go back to wondering why people don't respect you. Or you can accept that respect isn't given. It's claimed, not through violence, not through cruelty, but through standards, through boundaries, through the quiet, unshakable belief that you are not for everyone. And that's exactly what makes you valuable. This is the line between survivors and victims. Victims wait for the world to be fair. Survivors create fairness through strength. Victims hope people will change. Survivors change what they tolerate. Victims need to be understood. Survivors only need to be respected. And from this point forward, ignorance is no longer an excuse. You know how the game works now. You know why you've been losing. And you know exactly what to do about it. So the only question left is this. Are you going to keep playing the role of the good, predictable, controllable person? Or are you going to become the one nobody dares manipulate again? Type, "I see the game now," in the comments. Not for me, for yourself. Because the moment you declare it, you can't go back. And that's the point. You're not here to stay comfortable. You're here to become untouchable. If this made you uncomfortable, good. It means you're waking up. And once you're awake, you can't be put back to sleep. Now go use this. Because power doesn't wait for permission, and neither should you.